So this is Matilda and Izod back out in their breeding cage without a box on it after being inside for just about a week. These are their two little babies who are more than ready to get up on perches and start flying. They'll be fully fledged in another 4 to 5 days. I decided to put them out here because I'm still medicating my little Texas Clear Body baby. And they don't need any medication, so I can't put them in with her. But I've been waiting for these guys to look like they're ready because I have two other pairs that need a fledgling cage, which is Gray and Cloudy, and Scruffy and Laurel. Laurel's oldest chick is the most developed. Cloudy's oldest chick is less developed, but older. Laurel has a younger chick that's really pretty young, whereas Cloudy's younger chick is not that young. She only has 3 of them. So I was back and forth, which one should I move inside, and I can wait for one more day type of thing. And then I came out today, and Cloudy had laid an egg in her nest. So this is the auto reset that these birds do. It's a Mother Nature saying to the wild birds that live out in the desert, saying, okay, it's still raining, we still have food, everything is still good, hurry up and lay another batch of eggs. But out in Mother Nature, first of all, these birds only weigh about 30 grams instead of somewhere between 60 and 80 grams. So there's a lot less bird to feed. The difference in developmental rate between these big budgie chicks and a regular parakeet chick is pretty substantial. Regular parakeet chicks are competently flying a week before these guys are, and regular parakeets are 40 grams. The wild birds are only 30, so they have even less growing to do and will mature even more quickly. And then, the other thing is, sure, in the wild, they'll breed 2 times in a row if they can fit it in during a rainy season. But they're out in the middle of a desert. And they haven't bred for 8 months straight, waiting for the rains to come. So when they do 2 successive breedings, this is Mother Nature saying, we'll compromise the parents to get the babies in while we can. So even though it's... it's in their instinctive repertoire to turn around and start breeding again when their chicks are 3.5 weeks old. It does not work for these birds anymore. They're way too big. These chicks are almost 5 weeks old, and they're still not standing up on the perch all the time, still walking around on the bottom, absolutely cannot fly. Because they're big. Look at how big this baby is compared to his father on the perch behind him. He's bigger than his father already. So, which isn't saying much because Izod's teeny, but genetically Izod's bigger. So it takes longer to grow these giant chicks. It takes longer for them to grow all that extra feather as well. So it just doesn't work, and it's not good for the hens. We don't need for her to compromise her health and even her life in order to try and bring up a second pair of chicks. We can give her a break and bring her back in again in a few weeks, And Cloudy's an excellent example of that. Cloudy had so little calcium in her system that not only is she unable to fly because her wings never developed properly, but all of her chicks, I had to take the 2 oldest chicks away, and the 3 youngest ones needed calcium support the entire time she's been raising them in order to be formed normally. And what does she do? The minute she gets enough calcium in her system, she turns around and starts laying eggs again. She absolutely cannot be bred again. I had no idea she was so calcium deficient when I bred her, but I know now, and I will not let her breed again. So I took the egg and threw it in on Coco, and I put these guys out here to finish up their... these chicks are old enough now so that they're starting to sit on the perches to sleep at night, so they're not trying to hide in a corner anymore. They've just got a few more days to go. And in another 2 or 3 days, I'll be bringing Haverty and Lacey and their 2 chicks back out here again, because these 2 need to go get away from their nest box. Laurel's youngest chick is still pretty darn young, but her oldest chick is really well developed. He's got a lot of feather going. So, and I don't want her to start laying again, so I gotta hurry up and get them out of there. Not to mention, there's always the specter of her turning on her chicks. I don't think she's at that place, though. But she's spending a lot of time in the box, and that could mean she's getting ready to lay again. I checked, and there are no eggs in there yet, but she hasn't been well for you know, probably 10 days. I've been kind of nursing her along, but it would be just like these kind of birds for her to start trying to lay eggs again. So anyway, they're next, and you know, because I don't have a full breeding shed, this works just fine. I put the paper on the top of the bars, and these little guys are walking around fine, and will be I'll be ready to put their parents out in the big flight cage, probably in about 3 to 5 days. Look at this little guy. He's getting big. This little gray brother is not all that small either, but he is noticeably smaller. But he's a nice looking little guy. I'm glad. And these 2 are going to go again, but not yet. They need a rest. I'll put them out in the big flight cage for a month before I bring them back in again, because 1 chick was not enough. So I gave the egg that Cloudy laid, I dropped in Coco's nest after marking it with a marker. I'm going to guess it's probably infertile, because I've been pumping her and her babies with calcium, and the calcium makes the males infertile. So it's probably not even fertile, but Coco only has 4 eggs in there, so it wouldn't be a big challenge for her to raise a 5th baby, even if all 4 of the other ones hatched. So I thought I'd just drop it in there and see. Never hurts. So yeah, she's still sitting on her 4 eggs. Everything looks fine. We're just waiting for time to pass. The first one is not due to hatch until, I think, the 21st or the 22nd. So we got a ways to go. Almost a week to go on these 2. These 2 new pairs that I brought in, I don't see them spending a lot of time in the nest box, although they do go in, and I do think they've started mating. So they're kind of very relaxed about this. So I don't know what that means. I hope it doesn't mean that they're going through an infertility cycle or something, but we'll see what happens. Let's see, there is Stratus, and his Marine is still sitting on her 6 eggs. Nothing has hatched yet. Well, let me see. I checked her a few hours ago. We're due to have something start hatching any time now. So, what? Let's see if anything happened yet. Nope, I don't see a thing. They all look solid, though, so I think that something's going to happen. And Laurel's babies are, the crowd in there is looking good. They're sitting on, that's the other thing, is they're sitting on a bunch of poop. Laurel will actually start pecking at her babies when I open the top of the box to look in at them. So I'm scared to change the box and clean it out, because I don't want a repeat of what Fluffy did. And I know that Laurel is an extremely nervous hen. So I can hardly wait to get them out of there and put them in the fledgling cage in the kitchen, so because the box is disgusting. But I don't want to, like I said, she starts pecking on those chicks with me just opening the top of the box. So I'm afraid to take it off and clean it out. So we're just going to hurry up and get them into a fledgling cage where they'll be clean. And old Sparky down here is a daddy. His hen hatched a little baby last night, and I'm hoping for a second one. And I'm excited. This is going to be a beautiful baby. Okay, so that's about it out in the breeding shed.